Let's start with Blueprint. Did you come up with the idea for Blueprint? Is that something that's pitched to you? How does all that come up?
Well, we were all in the talks about it, like kind of talking or showing, reference to how the company got started, and showed its like development and progress through the years through videography. And basically they brought it to me, I've mentioned it in the past, but it was most of their ideas and their visions, and then we went through the scripts and stuff and made certain that everything kind of tied to properly as best as we could.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but you've been there since day one. So was there stuff specifically like, hey guys, we got to make sure to mention this in the movie?
Oh, it was a few things. Kind of like first day on set type of vibes, like to show exactly like how it began and like how it progressed. So it was a few things in there that we changed, but for the most part, the writers kind of captured it pretty good.
And you've been basically with Vixen since they started pretty much. And then was the black brand always an idea they had from the get-go? That they
Yeah.
established Vixen and then, okay, now we're ready to go with Black? Or is that something that just kind of grew?
Well, I guess in the beginning, the essence of interracial like relationships and stuff was starting to get
Right.
like a big wave, and Black saw that that niche was gonna, blow up, so that's why they started Black, which was a solely interracial company.
And you mentioned an interesting point. IR scenes have always been ridiculously popular. Like,
Mhm.
why do you think that is?
Why are the Black scenes so popular?
Well, the interracial scenes.
Yeah,
Or Black, I apologize. My bad.
because it was a fetish for some people, like I guess so. White girls always kind of, I guess, always thought what it would be like to have a Black man because they assume that all Black men are endowed, and I guess, playing with larger toys and stuff, they always had the like kind of like mental inner workings of what would it feel like to get like a real large size flesh in me. And I guess it took a wave, and white guys like to see uh smaller white girls get, stretched out by the larger Black guys. So it always kind of like was visually appeasing, I guess.
And Vixen gets going. They decide they want to start the Blackened brand.
Hmm.
Did you tell them, like, hey, do we, once again, we, like, it's important that we bring this across? Or is it an
No.
idea just to, like, just to pair like, oh, the white person, I'm sorry, all that?
Well, when I got there, they were already in the talks of Black. That was the reason they outsourced me. They were looking for new talents, male-wise, to, I guess, showcase the larger endowment on
Right,
screen, and
right.
then that's how they found me. So they was started already a little bit before I got there, like a little bit, and then I guess it propelled from then.
And you'd heard of Vixen before? Was it what you expected when you started working for them? Was it different? Was it?
I did not expect it to be so lavishly put together. I expected to just get on camera and, I guess just have sex like all the older styles that I'd seen
Right,
before. But seeing this new style where they kind of like bring pornography into such like a luxury light, like to make it look
right.
so classy, with the big bright lights and the focal points and the elaborate storylines, not too raunchy or risque, but kind of like the Black niche. I didn't expect that, and it was kind of a well sought surprising thing when I got there.
And before you started working with Black, were you already established in the business, or did this help you get established?
No, I was not. I was a model before working a regular 9 to 5 job, and they hit me up. They hit up one of the photographers who shot some type of print ad that I did before, and they told me we want to fly to LA to do a shoot. And I'm like, okay. So then, but before I get ready to come, they was like, oh, we forgot to tell you, whatever day you're not successful, we'll pay you and fly you back home. I'm like, of course I'm going to be successful. I'm in better shape, have more
Right,
knowledge and experience, blah, blah, blah. And then they tell me it was pornography. And I was like, oh, it's pornography. They was like, do you think
right,
you can do it? I was like, has a human done it? They was like, well, obviously. I said, well, I can do it.
right.
And here we are.
But At that point, had you watched adult material?
Yes, I was an exotic dancer at one phase in my
Right.
life, and I used to watch pornography to get an erection to perform better at the bachelorette parties.
When you saw adult material, did thought ever cross your mind that I could do that?
When I was younger, I would watch it on the direct TV, like the Cinemax and like those channels like that
Right,
when I was younger. And I used to see the guys like penis sizes and stuff. And I would be like, looks like mine is bigger than that. I'm like, I'm pretty sure I could do that. But at that time, I was not
right.
having intercourse or anything. But I always in the back of my head thought, yeah, I could do that.
When you start making movies, had you had any preconceived notions? Because you heard pornography and there's so many bad documentaries and stuff about the business that to me it never gets a fair shake.
Hmm.
So, did you had any of those thoughts in your head before?
Well, no, the only thing I thought about was the safety, but the team from VMG kind of like, expressed that safety was like one of the utmost and explained to me about the testing procedure and I had to go get tested and all that. And I said, you know what? I'm assuming this gotta be better than picking up a chick at the bar.
Right. You go to shoot your first scene. I'm sorry, I don't know who it was with. Actually, well,
I
anyway,
think it was with Nicole Aniston, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't know if you know Nicole before, but you meet Nicole. Is it a turn on for you? Like she's pretty and you get to work with her today.
Yes, it was a turn on. Funny part was, I want to say like maybe 6 weeks prior to getting involved into the scenario, I was watching Nicole on, I don't know, X videos or something
Right,
to get an erection. So when I get there, I see her walking downstairs because I hadn't seen her yet. And I was already
right,
slightly nervous, but not nervous, but slightly. And
right.
I see her walking down. It felt as though she was walking down in slow motion. I was like, yo, I just watched this young lady. That's crazy, right? And then I proceeded to have to do a scene with her, and I guess I was a natural.
And I was going to ask a question about it. For you as a male performer, is it harder, no pun intended, to work with the type of girl that you're into, or maybe a girl that you're going to work for?
So I guess the ones that you're more into seems to strike me as a little bit more difficult because then, you have to hold back your semen and stuff because,
Right,
you
right.
can't let the money shot go too early. So the more you're attracted to them, the more difficult it is to curve that enthusiasm.
Um, as a human being or a male, is it harder for you when you shoot a sex scene? Is it harder, no pun intended, psychologically or physically?
I would say, well, it depends on the girl and the scenario. So sometimes you'll get like young ladies that have like I don't know, like smaller vaginal canals,
Right,
and it's a little bit more on the physical side. But then sometimes you get girls and they're just so good that you're fighting for your life the entire time to hold back from busting or
right.
whatever. And it kind of like you're working mentally and obviously physically.
And for you, is this a job or a career?
It has become a career.
Was it what you expected, what you did? Because you did the first scene with Nicole, it goes well. Do you decide, hey, I want to do more of this? Or do you maybe take some time and wait?
Well, so I was supposed to fly there and shoot 3 scenes. I shot, and then I was supposed to have like a day off and then shoot and day off, so forth and so on. And so I shot with Nicole, and the director on set was calling me Superman, blah blah blah, to the owner. And then they was like, "Hey, can you do it again tomorrow?" I'm like, "Yeah." So I do it again tomorrow. Then they're like, "Hey, can you do it again tomorrow?" I do it again the next day. And it's like, "Hey, can you do it again tomorrow?" I'm like, I was supposed to have three, but okay. I do it again, and then by the fifth time, they was like, "Hey, we need you to prolong your trip. We want you to stay a little longer." I'm like, "Whoa!" I'm like, "I need a break." I'm like, my penis is raw." Just
Right,
like,
right.
"No, no, no. We want you to come to the office. We want to sign you to a contract." And then, yeah, and I signed the contract, and I've only worked for them the entirety of my career.
And for you, how long does it take you, I guess, mentally, physically, everything to pick up and understand the pacing and the rhythm and all of that of shooting an adult? Because most people think you just walk in, you fuck a girl, and you go home. They don't
No, it's not
understand
that
stop for
easy.
stills. And,
Okay, so I had when I first got there, of course, I had Mas, who has always been my right-hand man with Black the entirety of my career. And I also had Just Dave. He was a great enthusiastic director. And he explained to me a lot, but I automatically, when I got there, like I know that this is pornography is on camera, right?
Right,
So I naturally knew I'm gonna move my leg back. I'm gonna, like, flatten my
right,
stomach so they can get a good view of the penetration. I naturally knew that just by just common sense, and then they loved that about me because they really didn't have to worry about like finding the penetration because I always
right.
gave it to them because I knew what I was there for. But sometimes it is difficult. Some of those positions is crazy hard.
And at this point, has your view of sex changed? You still like sex, or is it just a gig?
I still love sex, but if it's not as emotional,
Right,
then you kind of desensitize. But at the end of the day, if you meet a young lady or something and she turns you on, no matter what, that's gonna heighten you up.
right,
But for the most part, like I don't just like see girls out in the public and be like, oh wow, because I'm kind of desensitized to it.
right.
It's more of like a personality connection.
But in public, do you have game? Are you comfortable
Oh,
walking up to a girl and talking and
100%. You know, girls seem to like when you break down their walls with a little
right,
comedic energy. Most guys they tend to try to be too serious all the time, and that kind of
right.
kind of pushes them away. But when you break down their walls with some comedic energy, you being funny with them, you make a girl laugh and feel secure, done deal.
But to me, you'd have the same impression, that impression. A lot of pretty women intimidate men, but
Hmm.
you've got a very chill vibe to you, and you're a known person, and you have what I call it. So when you step in public, I would imagine if you met a woman, you'd intimidate her.
Yes, but I break that wall down with comedic energy because I'm naturally a silly person,
Right,
and believe it or not, girls like that energy. Sometimes you look at a girl, you be like, "Yo, how did he get her?" He made her smile.
yeah. And for you, is there a difference between having sex with a civilian and shooting a scene?
A big difference because when I shoot a scene, obviously I'm having sex for the fans.
Right,
And so I'm trying to make her orgasm as much as possible because I know that will create immediate chemistry. But I'm also doing it for the fans. Like I want to give them things that they see and they be like, yo, I wish I could do that. Or, oh, I should
right,
try this at home. But when you're having sex with a civilian, it's more like you're having fun. It's just you and the
right.
civilian, y'all together. It's just a fun-filled moment. So it's kind of more relaxed.
So then you prefer fucking or making love?
It depends on the meetup. But like if it was a girlfriend, obviously making love is way more fun because you'll pull way more orgasms out of a young lady if you
Right.
tie emotional with physical. Just fucking is all physical.
And do you run into the problem where people meet you and they want porn sex from you, and you just want to, get intimate and do your thing?
Yes. Yes. Like so they always expect that Jason Love treatment. Like especially like when you meet like if you meet a girl in the club or something, like she like know who you is, so she already chooses you. So
Right,
by the time you actually make yourself to like being like, yo, it's kind of she's kind of hot. You walk up to her, like automatically she want you give me. I'm talking about I want some aerial prone. I want you floating in the air with the
right,
cock inside of me and all that shit. They always want that crazy stuff. And I tell them real quick, I'm like, yo, calm down. We're just having fun.
right. And is it possible for you to have a relationship with a civilian and be in this business?
Yes, it's possible as long as you have communication and boundaries. You can do anything in this world.
And you get going with Vixen and Black. Is there a scene, a movie, an award where you felt you'd established yourself?
Um, when I got best newcomer and I got this award, best foreign sex scene. Once I got those two, I was like, best newcomer, okay, you're the best of the new class. But when you win something like best shot foreign scene, where you go to another country and you create instant chemistry with some people on set and you make this magic and you win an award out of everyone, something like that for me shows the ability to deliver chemistry on screen. That's
And
when I was like, okay.
Was there a point when you felt you accepted, I guess, into the brotherhood of male performers?
Yes, I guess like when other talents would reach out to me, in hopes of me helping them get like on a certain set or a certain set shoot, and I would make that happen. I felt like that built some natural camaraderie with amongst me and my other male peers in the industry.
Do you have a list of girls you want to work with or you worked with? Has there been a fantasy girl for you that you worked with? And
Um, I I basically got to work with a bulk of everyone that I wanted to work with. Luckily, the casting department at VMG is they're phenomenal. I guess they
right,
they know what I like. Sometimes I think they go like on the social media and see whom I like and book them. I don't know,
right.
but I wouldn't say I have a list because I've pretty much garnered all the wins I wanted. I like shooting with some of the new girls though. It's fun to show them the ropes. You know, try to propel their career.
And do you prefer just doing vaginal sex versus anal sex? Is there a difference as a performer?
Um, Vaginal sex is easier. Anal sex tends to sell a lot more at times, but it's a little bit more work, a lot more preparation for the girl, a lot more casing the scene for the male. But I guess it's what for what. But like if I had to choose out of five scenes, I would probably only throw one or two anals in there, and three would be vaginal because once again, vaginal is easier.
And for you, what is the reality of this business versus what people think it is?
I think people have a misconceived notion that the pornography industry is just this nasty, raunchy, disgusting realm, in which is actually not. It is like some of the nicest people, some of the most level-headed people, and it's beyond safe. It's safer than interacting with people in everyday life. Like you meet a young lady at the bar or anything, you don't know anything of their sexual status or health status. But when we go to work, we know what we're getting ourselves into. So people have that misconceived notion.
And the process for you now, is the sex still your favorite part of making a scene during the day? Or do you like doing the dialogue? Do you do any like behind the scenes type of thing? You do stills, do anything, maybe screenwriting?
My favorite part is coming up with scripts, maybe changing scripts here or there. I love the acting part because the sex is what it is. I'm going to make that good automatically. But when you're trying to become another character on screen, that's real. That's when the fun come in. You'll be like, how should I have sex today? Here I'm a doctor, or here I don't know, a rap artist or something. And so I try to case or curate every sexual encounter on screen as how that character would do it.
And how much different are you than Jason? How much is Jason is an act?
Okay, so at home, Jason, working out, cooking, reading, writing, watching movies, playing golf, a lot of golf. Um, but the Jason Love, he's more of like, the rock star of porn, the guy who fucks all the baddest women in the world and then
Right.
does this and does that. But in actuality, I'm really laid back and just chill.
You, for a woman to have a chance in hell with you, would she be tall, short, what?
When you've had everything, the only thing that really matters is personality.
Is making a woman laugh typically the best way to get in her pants?
Yes, because to make someone laugh, you almost have to be genuine of yourself to deliver like a quirky side of you. It's hard to fake quirky. So it's like when you make them laugh, they know like he might be kind of real. Like I can give him a chance. He seems like a nice guy.
Do you think your authenticity is one of the reasons you've been so successful as a
Y-
performer?
Yes, because what you see is what you get. I'm always honest. I'm always straightforward. And I care about others and I bring that into everything that I do. So it's like I guess everyone feels that, my fans, I guess they like me because I'm so authentic. I'm just me, there's no act.
And typically for you now, how many scenes do you shoot a month?
So like now at this phase of my life, I probably do maybe five a month sometimes, 3 to 5 a month.
But then do you have an OnlyFans, loyal fans, and somebody else's fans at this point?
Yeah, I have OnlyFans. I have like mini vids. I have all the, Pornhub and all these different things, just like everyone else. But I do like a lot of like brand deals with like fashion brands and like betting companies. I'm really big on social media. I put forth a lot of effort, time, and energy into it to make certain that, it's appealing.
Right. And on social media, do you think, because yes, you are a celebrity, do you think sometimes celebrities put too much information out about themselves?
Um, Yes, you can't put all information out, but the ones you do put, as long as it's honest, I think that's the best way. But like I know there's a lot of people they tend to like to, falsify their life to try to make it look larger than life to others in hopes of garnering more fans. But I feel like it's easier to, you don't have to put everything out, but what you do put out, make sure it's honest and it's easier that way. It's harder to replay a lie than it is the truth.
And the brands that you work with, do they approach you? Do you approach them? How does all that work?
I would say 85% of the times they approach me, but then sometimes I'll see a brand and I feel like my likeness or ideas would make them better and I would reach out to them, but ordinarily they reach out to me. So I would say 85-15.
And have you turned down a lot of stuff?
Yeah, sometimes I turn down things because I'm not dishonest. So I won't do things that I feel to be a lie. So like if I feel like it's not true or it doesn't work, then I won't bring that to my fans because, like I said, they know me for being honest. So if I tell them, they know Jason said it is correct. So that's kind of like that helps the power that me and my fans have because they know we telling the truth.
And with products, is that stuff that you use? Sometimes you try to incorporate into a scene or something maybe used for content? Or because
Yes.
you, are the brands you work with, are they strictly adult related? Or do you non-adult related?
Okay. So like I don't know, like I have like pheromone colognes, toxically masculine from Big Dog Labs. That's a pheromone cologne that actually smells phenomenal. And I feel like it allures women in. I have like testosterone boosters, total male with Big Dog Labs. Those things actually work. I actually take those. Um, I have like male enhancements like honey from Viger Labs. It's called Jason Love's Black Snake Honey. I actually drink that before my scenes, So it's like the things that I do, I actually use those things.
And do you have any aspirations of going behind the camera and directing and doing all that?
Yes, I will in the future, but right now the dick is still working really good. So I'll just, still fuck on camera. I'll write some scripts here and there. I'll come out with some scenarios. But in the nearest to the future, I shall, in a couple years, I'll start directing.
When you shoot for your OnlyFans and stuff, do you shoot stuff you want to shoot or stuff you think will sell?
I'm both. So I shoot things that I want to shoot, but I'll also kind of curate some portions of it to what I know will sell. Like the scene I shot today, I played a gynecologist. That was fun. That was the part that I wanted to do, but when I went to the sex portions, obviously I did this the positions and stuff that I know that sells well.
Be successful on OnlyFans and stuff like that. Is it more up if your fans come to you to watch you have sex or for your personality?
So I would say it's honestly 65% personality, 35% what you put out.
And do they have a specific type of content they like to see from you? Because
So what I do is I give it all to them. So like sometimes when they want some raw, raunchy stuff, every now and again I'll give that. But when I do mine, I kind of like I put some thought and energy into it, so it's kind of like a production. But like a large portion of my OnlyFans people are gay, so they like to see me by myself. They like to see solo things. But obviously, for the other portions that are not gay, I produce some high quality stuff. And then when someone wants the more raunchier, amateur looking things, if I have a bunch of people asking for it, I'll shoot that just for them. I'll sell it to the mass, but I'll do that portion for them.
And for Jason, what is a good scene? Is a good scene perfectly lit? Is a good scene camera angles? Is a good scene being able to see everything? Like for you, what is a good scene?
A good scene is chemistry, wild, passionate sex. You need to see enough to be able to get a physical rise in your loins, but you want to see these two talents tearing each other apart, whether it be passionately or ferociously. You want that chemistry. I think the best scenes that you've ever seen is chemistry. You know, the visual appeal works for the trailer, but in the actual scene, you want that chemistry.
You're from Louisiana originally?
Yes,
Did you go to a public school, private school?
public school,
In public school, do you have a favorite subject?
mathematics.
When you were growing up, did you know what you wanted to be when you grew up?
Yeah, soldier.
In high school, were you a popular guy? Were you a loner? Were you a geek? Were you a nerd?
I was an athletic nerd.
Did
So
you go ahead? I'm sorry to interrupt you.
I was like valedictorian, straight A's. I never fucking made B's or anything. And I probably made my first B or C, maybe the 11th grade, and I cried. But I was really good at sports. So that's the only thing that stopped me from being a geek. But I was the nerd, the quiet one. Video games, sports, home. That's it.
You have it, so I would imagine you kind of stuck out in high school. Did you know that you had an effect on girls?
I was so shy and so quiet. I only like cared about, I guess studious work, like, you know, schooling and sports. My brothers, they were badder, but they were kind of like my protective umbrella, so no one would mess with me because of who my brothers were. But I was really good at sports, so that's the only thing that kind of, I guess, made me somewhat cool. But I didn't know I had an effect on girls, probably not until like 11, ending of 11th, 12th grade. Then I like girls kind of started talking to me, but I didn't have sex until like 17.
And I hope I say this properly and respectfully, but when did you realize you had a bigger thing than most people?
I would maybe about 15 years old watching pornography on the TV in the living room. My parents were asleep. Like looking at the penises on screen, I kind of looked at mine and I was like, I think I might have a big one. But it's when I broke my virginity, after school I left and I went to the military, and then I came back on break, and one of the girls were having problems with one of her boyfriend who were older than us, and she came to talk to me, and we ended up having sex. And she was like, "Boy, if they knew, all the girls at school knew that you had this like that, they would have been fighting for you." Like, well, I guess everything happens for a reason.
But did that ever intimidate women? I mean, you hook up with somebody, you guys get ready to do your thing, and you drop your pants, and she's like, "What the fuck am I supposed to do with that?"
Yeah, most of the time, so like before pornography, like when
Right,
like
right.
they didn't know or whatever, they normally would look at a muscular guy and would assume that he's not well endowed. And then when I would get blood into it, because I'm a girl, not a shore, they would be like, "Boy, what the fuck?"
And uh, you lost your virginity at 17. At that point, you immediately become sexually active, or do you wait before you have sex again?
So I have sex on leave when I'm 17, and then I leave to go back to the military. And I kind of go back to being like the normal quiet Jason or whatever, doing my military work. And then I guess maybe a year after that, so now I'm like maybe 18, 18 and a half. I started kind of like having sexual intercourse kind of like in different countries here and there.
Right.
And then I found a high fascination for it. So that I just wanted it all the time after that.
Then at that point, we asked the girls. I guess we can ask you: did you have a whole face?
Oh, yes. Like draw. Before I got to adult work, I probably was at like 3,000. Like probably every day for years. That's why it was
But
so easy for me when I did it, because I did it so much prior to
were
porn.
Sorry to interrupt you. Were you a hit and run type of guy? I saw that one. I had her, and I get out.
No, like so once again, like I'm a lover boy, but I'm silly and honest. So like I would just tell them straight up, you know? I'm like, yo, I'm like, listen, I got a bunch of women. I said, but I got some good dick. If you want to try some, you're more than welcome. Boy, you silly. And then they would try it.
And for you, kind of a weird question, but how long did it take you to figure out you think you knew how to rock a woman's world?
Well, remember that initial time I had so Direct TV used to have these cards that you would put into the Direct TV box, and
Right,
it would send signal and you get certain channels. Well, I took the computer and I modded the Direct TV
right,
card. So I had that card, I would take it out when my parents would go to sleep, the regular card
right,
for the low rate channels, and I'll put my modded card into it. So I had all the porn channels from channel 590 to
right.
600 was all pornography. So I learned from watching that. So when I finally had intercourse at 17, I was like a seasoned vet because I had watched so
Right.
much pornography. It's like I felt like I knew what I was doing. And then so I guess I don't know, kind of you go to school to be an electrician, it's easy to change a light bulb.
For you, did you prefer a woman giving you head or you going down on a woman?
I'm a pleasurer, so I get off of emitting pleasure. So me going down on her makes me more excited.
And true or false, is there one definitive way to go down on a woman?
False. There's no definitive way because each case is a case by case study. Some girls like, rough, like vibrant, like oral fixation or whatever. But some girls like soft licks. So you have to try the different facets of it and see which one, you put your hand on her stomach, whichever one makes her stomach jolt most, that's the tension that she likes. So each case is kind of different.
And is that different for you when you shoot a sex scene?
Yes, is different. Each girl is different. Out of 10, only three will be the same.
Is that challenge? Is that a fun challenge for you?
Yes, because you have to kind of be intuitive, you have to like watch. That's why I always like put my hand near there, like pelvis area, and like I feel the jolts, and I know I'm like, oh, okay, so I see what you like. Once I do that a few times, and I feel that stomach tension tense up a few times, I'm like, oh, I got the spot, so I can move my hands now. I can go use fingers and hit that spot aforementioned.
Have you ever had the problem either when you're working with the girl that you're into and they're like, okay, we got enough footage. And you're like, dude, like, give me another 5 minutes. Like, let me enjoy this.
I've heard stories of it, but luckily for me, it's never enough time for them. They enjoying themselves thoroughly. So it's like we forget that the clock is there.
And if you've had a bad day at the office, I'm not saying you did, but if you had a
Mhm.
bad day at the office, how hard, no pun intended, is it for you to come back from that?
Okay, so as you know, an erection is I want to say 75% mental, 25% physical. Well, 20% physical and 5% circumstance. So it's like I know it's mental, so I've never failed the scene. I've never had a setback. The closest thing I've ever came to was my dick getting abrased too much during the scene that when it's time to come, that's a difficult part for me. But as for the erection, I know it's all mental. So like I find a good mental space. I find something on the young lady that I like a lot, and I never have a problem with a hard on. The only difficulties I've noticed was smaller vaginas tend to abrade your dick more, so then it gets numb after fucking for a
Mhm.
while, and it's hard to bust. That's about it. But I go home and I'll be like, you know what? Hey, I got through it. Tomorrow, let's make it easier.
And your brothers looked out for you now. Your brothers look up to you now?
So when I was younger, they never wanted me to go anywhere with them because I wasn't cool with them. My eldest brother, he would let me come some places with him, but he was like what 13 years older than me. But the brother that was 3 years older than me, he wouldn't really let me like go places with him or anything like
Right.
that. But now we have a way better relationship. We're older, so
Right.
I guess it's different. But I guess I would say look up to me, but they respect how far I've come.
But is it difficult for them to go out with Jason? Jason, the rock star dude that everybody knows, and
Yeah, yes, it is because people running up to take pictures and people screaming or yelling outside of cars in traffic.
right.
It's different to them because they still know me as like Lil J,
You.
like their little brother. So it's like I guess it's weird for them, but I guess they've gotten used to it now.
And does all of this attention surprise you?
Um, it it's different. Like I'm a real humble guy, so I really don't care. But sometimes I go places and I'm like, yo, chill. I just have sex on camera. I'm no different from you. Like people like screaming and crying and stuff and all this stuff. I never understood it. I'm like, hey, like stop crying. Come here. I'm like, I'm just like you. When I woke up this morning, I took a shit. I'm pretty sure you did as well. We're no different. I'm like, just chill. Come say
Right.
hello. Come take a photo. Whatever.
And you seem from talking you have a very good work ethic. Was that something your parents instilled in you? Is that something
My father and the military, if you want something done, you do it yourself. If you want it done properly, do it well as you can and do it often, and you'll be good at it.
and you mentioned you got into dancing. How did you get into dancing?
So whenever I got out of the military, so I went in the military at 16, and then I stayed 7 years. So I got out at 23. I lost hearing in my right ear, and I was like, "Yo, what the fuck? What am I gonna do now?" I'm like,
Hmm.
so then I started being working at a furnishing company. I was an account manager. And then I was like, yo, this is not enough money. I'm like, I'm getting this
Right.
disability check and I got this little check, but it's still, I want more. So then I started dancing. So I was dancing and I was a personal trainer. And I train clients in the morning and at night. I work at the furniture store during the day. And then after my last client, I would go and I would do security in the club. When I had parties, I was the head of security. I would put someone in charge and I would go dance at the parties. So I had multiple incomes, and that's really what I wanted.
And first time you danced, did it surprise you that you had all the attention of the women? Were you amazed with the money you were getting from it? Like what was
The most surprising factor was just seeing how over the hills these women were from it to the point to where they were giving me their monies or giving me their spouse's money just for me to gyrate my body around and make them feel wanted. Um, and then going home with trash bags of money counting this saying, this is crazy. Like I work as an account manager at this furniture store, and I just made my entire 2 week check in an hour and 45 minutes. It's like it was beyond me. And then obviously once you get to that point, you want more and more, and then you try to garner more.
and did that help you when you got into making adult movies?
Yes, because I was so comfortable with attention, with cameras and different aspects like that. So I get on camera. This is nothing. I'm like, that's one camera. I would be in a party, it's 100 women. You would look around and it was 70 cameras out with the flash. I'm like, this one camera is not going to do nothing.
What was the deal with you and Lena the Plug? You guys shot a scene or something? Was there some drama or something?
Yes, I believe they were Lena wanted to shoot with another male, and like I guess they were kind of like looking at different prospects, and then they realized that I would be of value to them because of my name and likeness. Like if she shoot with me, it would probably be an instant financial hit. So she hit me up, and we discussed it, and then we talked to Adam, and then we did the scene, but we did not think it would have blown up to that magnitude or that level of internet insanity.
And then did he get mad or something, or did something happen? Or did you guys just PR it that way?
It basically was PR. It was just great, great PR work. The internet loves any type of visual animosity. Like if they see some type of animosity, they feed off of it. And by them feeding off said event, we get more subscribers, and we garner more money, and it's a win-win.
Do you have a Doc Johnson?
Yes, yes, I do.
Tell me about it.
It's the Jason Luv dildos, docjohnson.com. You can find it there. You also can find it on Amazon. It's anywhere on the internet.
And were you surprised when they asked you to do it?
Um, yes, because it was early on in my career, and I felt like I hadn't, I guess warranted that type of attention in my newly found career. So I guess I was kind of, very appreciative, also shocked, but it worked out great. It became
And
one of the number one sellers.
do they just have like one type of it, or is there like multiple things?
So they have the one that's it, it was the first lifelike one with the ultra skin. So it feels just like skin and it has my exact likeness down to 100%. And it was pretty sick. And when they introduced it to me, they was just coming out with that new tech for that particular lifelike feel to it. And it was pretty sick.
And do you have a celebrity crush on Eva Mendes?
Yes. I love Eva Mendes. She's so hot.
If you could do a celebrity sex tape with her, what could she do to you?
What she could do whatever she wants to me. And the question is, what would I do to her is the thing.
What would you do to her?
Yeah, the blood in my loins would be at 100%. I would change her life physically for sure.
But would you like to be intimate with her or fuck her?
Oh, 100% I would be intimate with her. I don't want to just fuck her. She's Eva Mendes. Quirky, sexy, talented. Yeah, she deserves all the love. No pun intended.
And have you met her? Have you not?
No, I haven't been in the same space with her thus far. Surprisingly.
Okay. Do you still go back and forth from Louisiana, or do you just basically stay in LA?
No, well, my parents live in Louisiana, so I always go there. My parents are my best friends, so I go see them rather often.
And what's coming up for you that you can talk about?
What's coming up? Okay, so I just dropped a big blueprint, obviously. The next thing is I have my fitness app coming out in the next couple weeks. It's called Love Fit, and it's gonna help all, the guys and girls, help them get in shape and teach them
That would be me.
how to
Okay.
cook better, healthier foods.
And do you help design that? Someone come with you and pitch the idea?
No, I did it all myself. And then obviously I have a tech team that's helping me, develop everything. Well, the app is built and everything. I just have a few little things that I want to work out, but I should have it out in the next 3 to 4 weeks.
And would that be available on the
On the
online store? I don't
Yeah,
know.
oh, you can grab your iPhone and go to the Apple Play Store, Google Play Store. You'll be able to just get it straight on your phone, and you'll have me as your personal coach.
And we kind of touched on it earlier, but is there a dream scene for you to do now that you haven't done?
A dream scene. I I would like to be a pilot in a scene and have a mile high shoot. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah, I would like to have a mile high scene where I'm the pilot and we have a actual scene on the plane. That I would be sick. Hasn't been done.
And do you at this point you mentioned you like working with newer performers. Do you have a preference between them and I don't like the word milfs because beauty is beauty to me.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
age
Same.
age is not a thing. Does that make a difference to you?
With age,
Well, do you prefer working with a more mature woman as opposed to just a new girl and adult because she's new?
newer girls are exciting because they're new and it's almost like you feel as though you're a human teaching tool. But the MILFs, they know what they're doing. They're fairly experienced. So work is going to be really easy. You're going to have fun. Work is going to get done like this. They have things to do like you have things to do. But the newer girls, they got so much ferocious energies. Like it's fun trying to tame them and teach them at the same time.
And you've been in the business how long now?
10 years.
What are the biggest changes you've seen in 10 years?
the biggest changes I've seen in 10 years, I noticed that the males now, remember like how pornography used to be basically all about the female talent?
Right.
Now I feel like it's more of a balanced scale now. Um, like you have guys that's making good money now. Before guys used to make little to nothing and girls would make all the money, but like now it's like it's kind of balanced, you know. You'll see famous males, you'll see a bunch of
Right.
famous females, but before it was only like a handful, two to three males that you actually knew the name off the top of your head.
But would you think two reasons? Branding purposes, you bring that to the table. The other thing you bring to the table is reliability.
Hmm.
Are those the two biggest things, reasons why you think there's more established male people?
Yes, and I guess the world in itself is just getting a little more balanced. So, like, guys are understanding that, you are your brand. What you put out there, if you put it out good stuff and you put out consistency, um, the sky's the limit. And before they kind of just go, they just want to fuck on camera and just get a little change. But now they're looking at it more as a business. Like you are the business, you know?
People understand how important you are to this job. It always focused on the women, but you always needed the male to be ready to go and shoot.
Yeah. I think that's why I got so far, my will to not fail. So it's like, you don't have a moment where Jason didn't bring his all. And I guess people noticed that. Because in the beginning they didn't like me because of the tattoos. But I'm glad that I changed a lot of their minds.
You changed your minds just through your work. You changed your mind through your brand blew up. You changed your
Yeah.
minds.
So I changed their minds because once again, not failing, producing good works, not going online and having verbal debates of hatred, fussing with commenters and stuff. Everyone's entitled
Yes.
to their own opinion. The only thing I can do at the end of the day is be me, work well, and be kind. The rest fall into place as it did.
And obviously, Vixen has blown up kind of at the same time you guys have blown up together.
Hmm.
Are you surprised that the company's been able to maintain this really high level of popularity and consistency and work?
Well, okay. So once again, I'm inside. So it's like I see the drive, I see the determination, I see the money spent to bring these visions to life. So I really did not doubt them. That's why I stayed with them forever. Like we grew together. It was fun, I love being the face, but at the end of the day, without my face, they still would be an amazing company because they put such valiant effort out there.
Oh, you shot two sex scenes in Blueprint, correct?
Three.
Three, I'm sorry. Of the three scenes, when you're filming a scene, can you kind of tell in your head, like, this is going to be cool when it's done? Or do you just do
Yes,
your thing and hand it off to somebody?
I can tell how the dialogue is shot because I already know automatically I'm going to produce a fire ass sex in the scene. So I'm going to make that happen automatically. But when the inner workings and everything comes together and you actually, while you're doing it, you can see the story in your head, that's when I know it's about to make a good movie.
And have you worked with a performer, name, no name, doesn't matter, who you figured, like, and then she totally rocked your world?
Ooh, who did I sleep on? Naomi Woods. I thought it would just been an average day at work, and she immediately fell into my top five.
And was that energy purposes? Was that paying attention? Was that being what?
Attention to her attention to detail, um, energy level, ability to act, just like the whole ensemble. I was like, okay, came to
Because
came to play.
we're starting award season. Do you pay attention to any of that?
I watch the awards. Oftentimes I'm not in many of the runnings because they probably feel I don't really care. Not say not care, but they look at it like it won't matter to Jason, and which I don't mind because I love seeing the newer people or the more unnoticed people, get these awards and getting brought to the limelight because I've done well. I've been successful in this, and I like to see other people be successful.
Well, what are your social media handles?
I am Jason Love everywhere. TikTok,
And
Twitter, Instagram.
over the past 24, 36 months, we've sadly had a bunch of people pass away. Some of
Hmm.
them taking their own lives, sadly.
Yes.
From your experience, does this business put that much pressure on you to push you to that point? Or are there predetermined issues?
Okay, so it is predetermined issues. Some people, life was already lifing for them before they got to the adult industry, and they just added more to a plate that was mentally unstable, and they had moments of weakness, and they didn't have anyone there to, I guess, console them or to consult with that could, talk them off said ledge. I believe it's all about the people that you keep around you. You keep around some good people and then good things will happen. But if you're around people that only bring negative energy or situations to you, if you have a moment of weakness where you're partaking in a drug or anything like that, you're already mentally weak, and then you take a drug that makes you mentally and physically weak. It's hard to make proper choices. But once again, that stems from the company that you keep.
Being an adult film star, a lot of people believe your scenes are, in a sense, training for how they should have sex at home. Do you feel you have a sense of responsibility to kind of explain to people that, hey, this is a fantasy? This is not like go home and do all this stuff to your significant other if they're not into it. Or maybe they don't.
So when I see people talking or attempting to do some of the wilder things that's been
Right,
shot in pornography. Like if you notice, like crazy things, like I only do human things in my movies. You never see me choking, slapping.
right,
I'm never doing any of those crazy things because I always said in the beginning, if I wouldn't do that honestly in real life, I won't do it on camera. So some of these guys, they'll go and look at these different companies, they'll see some of the wildest things, like trying to make your spouse drink
right,
out of a milk in a cat costume. Okay, listen, this is for entertainment purposes only.
right,
Communicate with your person before you get to trying
right.
all this crazy stuff that you see. I had this one girl the other day. She was so mad at her boyfriend because they never did any kind of butt play or anything. He just rammed the thumb in her butt, and she lost her shit because he seen it in one of the movies. I'm like, ma'am, whoa, y'all need to communicate this before y'all get to
Mm.
doing this crazy stuff.
Does it surprise you that the general public can discern the fact that you don't watch the Fast and the Furious and think that's the right way to drive? But when you
Same with
watch a
us.
sex scene, somehow you think this is the right way to have sex.
Yeah, like it's not fiction because it's a real activity, but it's a fictitious activity. Some of the things you see in it, like some of these things you would never do in real life, and people take it, they watch it, and they try it.
Tell us about the book you wrote.
So I wrote a book called Louisiana Slim, The Family. So they used to call me, I was skinny, so they used to call me Louisiana Slim. And I did some things in life I wouldn't say I'm proud of. It worked, and I stopped before it got bad because I just thought it was wrong or whatever. But the book details that portion of my life. It's a really good read. You can get it on Amazon. It's called Louisiana Slim, The Family.
And was that something you always wanted to do? Is that something you came to you in a dream one night and you just sat down and wrote it? Was that
Or I love to write. So ultimately, I thought writing a book would be kind of like a dream come true because once again, like I told you, I was very studious, so I like to
right?
write automatically. I write poetry, I write short stories, I write scripts, so it's like writing a book just came as second nature. I've recently just finished writing part two, but I didn't put it out yet.
Is doing those type of things therapeutic for you?
Yes, it's very therapeutic and it actually brings me just complete and utter joy. I'm like in my zone. I'm sitting there and I write it. I don't type it. I write it like old school style.
And you mentioned stuff that you because I had this discussion the other day. You did earlier that you wouldn't do now, if that's the right way
Never,
to say that. But is that because your perspective in life? Because I did some crazy shit when I started in porn, like crazy, crazy shit. And I look at it now, and it's kind of like,
I would
you
never.
know. And the other thing too, though, is, and you've seen it more than me, when you're in it and things are happening so fast,
You don't notice.
there's not really a lot of time to think and say, this is probably not the smartest thing you did right now.
I know because it's going rapidly.
Yes. And then it comes up for me 20 years later.
And you're like,
And well, part of me is like, that was Monday. Like, so what? But how could you do, how could you do what? Like for you, what is the most surprising part of this journey so far? You
um,
shocks you, amazes you, you did it, surprised you did it, didn't think you would, you survived. I don't know. Anything.
okay, so like even when I was younger and I was watching pornography, I had never seen like the double penetrations or like the double vages and stuff. And having done stuff like that, I'm like, still till this day, I'm like, that is the wildest, like the same in the same hole. I would have never have fathomed some shit like that could happen. And it happened. Still till today, I sit back and I'm like, yo, that was crazy, you know?
Anything you want to say to all of your fans?
Um, well, the only thing I want to say is my fan is thank y'all for hopping in the car with me for this amazing long journey. Um, I'm very appreciative of everything. I love y'all, and yeah.